We have a compensation calculator. I'm not going to pull it up live today, but we have the ability to work with you. Compensation is all based around driving the behavior that you want. So let's look at a hunter. In this instance, what we're looking at is we're asking them to close about 4 deals a month. Really, we're asking them to close a proactive and a managed and 2 a la carte, which are going to be smaller MRR deals, but maybe higher in margin. Now, what you have to look at again is their salary and what's their total employee cost. And if you notice the yellow arrow, what I've done here is I've inputted 200% of the new monthly gross margin. Okay, so I've taken some of your costs out of this, and you're going to pay them the first 2 months of that contract upfront. Why? That's their incentive. They're coin operated. They want their money right away. You retain the remaining 10 months. If you have a farmer, you're paying a smaller percentage out. We'll review that in a bit. But it allows them to see the dollars coming in right away, and that's what motivates them to go out and bang on doors and pound the pavement to go find you new business. Now, if they find you project work, as you notice, it's a much smaller upfront, 5% one time. Your gross margins are smaller on that typically as well too. Now, you may want to, at certain times, throw a spiff in. You can throw a spiff in if you want. If you want to get some extra business that month on a la carte or a particular new service that you're offering, throw a spiff in and incent your hunter to go offer that on all contracts. And what we'll do in this calculator is give you numerous areas where you can look at your metrics and what your expectation should be to hit quota based on the forecast that you've provided to your reps. The next area is looking at the farmer. They're going to be looking at trailers and retention, not really getting upfront payments. So account growth is all about upsell, cross-sell. In this instance, maybe they're looking at 2 a la carte and moving 1 customer to a proactive. Maybe that's just an example as a metric that you might give to a farmer on a regular basis. In this case, what we're looking at is an idea of them driving business to a higher value contract and selling some additional services. So if you notice, I've got a 10% monthly trailer on new monthly gross margin. Okay, and they might take 10% on projects. Maybe I just want to pay them a flat rate 5% on all contract value moving forward. That's okay. I can do that as well too, but I want to have metrics to increase the business with each customer. Why? Because then their 5% cut that they get continues to grow. And so what we start to see is that leverage of year 1, 2, and 3. What are our expectations? So they may have started with a book of business of $7,350 a month, and I want to see them grow that by year 3 to $29,400, which means that their trailer is going to grow from $500 a month to maybe $55,000. Okay, their salary stays the same, but they're starting to make more money. So where their compensation was flattening out at around, 10, 20,000 in year 1 up to 50, they see the growth in their progression. Now you're going to get to a point where the farmer owns a book of business and they can't continue to manage anymore, or their account management falls down. And you'll need to figure out what that point of reference is. It could be amount of customers. It could be based on monthly recurring revenue. So there's all different ways that you can look at this. But again, we can work with you to help you build it out. And within this compensation calculator, which is available to anybody on this call, okay, you can go to your channel specialist for it. We will show you some of those metrics and how you can track this to ensure that your reps are hitting quota, that your forecasts are sound, and that you're not overcomplicating the sales process. The more simplified it is, the more success that you'll have. Inside sales compensation, pretty easy. As we mentioned, they're paid based on the amount of deals that are booked by the hunter, the outside account executive. They have a smaller salary, but we tend to throw spiffs on inside sales to get them maybe to increase from 50 to 100 dials a month, or to book a certain profile of prospect that we want to talk to. maybe, for instance, this month, we're going to spiff higher on managed customers who are in the professional services space, things like medical clinics, financial, accounting, lawyers. And we want to give a little bit of an extra incentive for them. Okay, and then they get a certain amount of commission based on the new monthly gross margin. But again, they're tied to what their hunter can do. They're tied to the success of that hunter, and that's why that team has to have a lot of synergy. Okay, so they're only paid on closed deals and spiffs.